Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing Deeper by Max Landis. The logline reads, a former astronaut dives deep into the ocean in an attempt to journey to the lowest point on Earth, only to find that there may be other things on the bottom of the sea that don't share his enthusiasm for record setting. So right off the bat, I'm just going to say it, this script was complete and utter garbage. I don't care who it was written by, I don't care how much it's sold for, I don't care what stars are attached to sign on to it. Just from a literary perspective, from someone who enjoys films, from someone who enjoys reading scripts, really at any angle that you look at it, this was complete trash. The myth is that, or the story is that Max Landis wrote this over the course of 3 days, and I believe it. This looks like you wrote this in one day. It looks like there was no effort put into the story at all. It was really, really painful to get through. I kept waiting for something to happen because my brain just wouldn't accept that there was nothing to the script. They just couldn't accept that, so I kept reading it just to see, okay, maybe something's going to come up, something's going to come up. And the tragic thing about it is there's an interesting premise here. It's like going into space. You're going into the deep ocean. You have an infinite amount of possibilities from where you can choose from and what type of story that you want to craft. And he chose to do this like weird ghost supernatural story when it's like, really, if you look at it, like what you're writing is a sci-fi type of story. It's about some guy in a submarine going to the bottom of the ocean. It can be a very scientific, interesting sci-fi film that way. And that's not to say like you can't pass or push boundaries and do interesting things with it. But it's like you just went for some ghost. Like there's a ghost. Well, ghost could be anywhere. A ghost could be in a house. What's so special about him going deep down into the ocean then? If all you're gonna do is a ghost story. So it kind of seemed like there was no like effort put into the storytelling. The first 30 pages were actually like not bad. They were fine. I think like the first act is one of the easiest things to write. So I think like the first act was fine because it's just setting up the adventure. It's setting up the story. It's setting up who the main character is. It's setting up the stakes and what's happening. And I enjoyed all that. And the thing about Max Landis is he's a fast writer, but he's also like for the reader, it's a pleasure to read in a way because it's very, very quick. It's very fast. But I think what you get as a result of that is kind of like this empty calorie counter. Like you're just reading it and it's really fast, but it's written fast because there's not a lot of substance to it. There's not a lot of content to it. It's just random dialogue. It's just random descriptions. It's not like really building to anything cool or climactic or thematic. It's just empty. Like I can't remember now. I just read the script yesterday and I don't remember what the first 30 pages were even about. What was the dialogue? I just know, okay, it's this guy Breen going in a submarine talking with his team about some dribble drabble. It was just redundant and derivative. There wasn't any real substance or content. And all that would have been fine if you're just writing kind of this empty thriller, which is totally fine. That's cool. But the story was just so bad and it ended so abruptly. It's just him having this conversation with his ghost and we're kind of sitting there wondering, is it an hallucination or is it real or what's happening? And somehow the ghost comes into a submarine and there's like a problem in the submarine. And I thought, well, if you're, all those thousands of meters down in the ocean, even a small hole like that in your submarine would rupture and compress the whole submarine. But no one seemed to care about that. It was just more about his journey and everything. And then it just ends with him, the ghost coming out, and I guess it turns out the ghost is real or something, and that's it. It just ends. Like, it just reeked of no effort. I didn't see what the vision was, what was the ambition, what was Max Landis trying to achieve with the story. It was just a complete ripoff. And, I'm happy for him. I'm happy there's people attached to the film and that they bought it and all that. But like I said, that doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it doesn't change what the story is. The story is complete and utter garbage. It was just reeked of no effort. And hopefully they're probably going to do a major rewrites on this, but it was just, I don't know what you can possibly learn from reading the script. Like, I felt like I wasted 1.5 hours of my time. Like I said, the first 30 pages were good, so I guess we can learn about how to write things in an economic manner. He does do some interesting like color stuff, which I don't know. I mean, if you want to do it, you can. But if you're more conservative like me and like it being traditional, then you're probably not going to really opt for that. But I think overall it just showed like, if you're writing something in 3 days, I doubt it's going to be that good. It's not going to be a material of substance. Like Joe Esterhazy apparently wrote Basic Instinct in 12 days. Like that was a good story though. That was a good thriller there. Even the dialogue there is not bad. It doesn't make you laugh out loud. Like the dialogue here in Max Landis' Deeper is just like, really, really derivative and boring and just nothing really memorable. I think that was the thing. Like at the end of the day, it's like you want to be able to remember something about the story and take something away from it. I just wanted to forget as much as I possibly could because it was just so painful to read. And it was just, really, really poorly done. I was pretty disappointed. I've read some of Max's other scripts, which I'll review later, which definitely were better because there was actual, I think, thought and energy put into it. But Deeper, I mean, it just shows you in this business, he's basically, the story is that he did send Deeper out before, Bright and everything got sold and no one really bought it. No one was interested. And then after Bright sold, there was all this attention given to all his other works, and so that's, as a result, Deeper sold as that. So I think it's more just they were buying it because they trust the writer a bit more, perhaps, which I also find surprising given Landis's track record so far of having box office bombs and now apparently these assault allegations and harassment allegations coming out. He's actually been off Twitter for about two and a half months, and he hasn't made any comments on it. So I don't know, maybe something's going on legally or something like that. But, back to the script, in terms of the script, this was like a 1 out of 10 for me. It was really bad. I don't really think there's much to redeem from it. I think it does show you, though, once you make it in the industry, I think you get more leeway with your scripts. So you get kind of more people who have more faith in you as a writer as opposed to necessarily your story. And that's something that I think we can take away from it. But what did you guys think if you checked it out? There's links online. You can find it if you're interested in reading a bit of it or all of it. And let me know what your thoughts were on this or on the writer himself. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.